Well, we have another exciting session this afternoon. It's a very special session on mentorship this afternoon. And before I introduce my next very dear speaker, I want to share with you an unfinished note that Jack Sheth shared with me privately outside. He said, mentorship is very valuable, and he shared an example. He said, it's like in agriculture, a grain can be multiplied into a loaf. It increases the value by 3 times. A diamond, when it's cut, it increases the value by 50 times. A human being, when he or she is mentored, his or her value is increased infinitely. And I think that really is the message and the reason that we are here, and the reason that my very dear friend of 40 years, Raja Jubran, has taken the time to come from Knoxville, Tennessee, to Atlanta to speak with us. Let me introduce to you Raja Jubran. Raja and I have been friends for several decades. I've known Raja and his family for that many years. We went to school together at the University of Tennessee. I've known him, I've known his family, I've known his parents, I've known his uncles. They're like my family. Raja went to school. He started a very simple life as a college student at the University of Tennessee. He was like many of the young people here, struggling in college. He made it. Right now, he runs a company that had projects into the hundreds of millions of dollars. It broke it into the $1 billion. He plays with the very important people in the state of Tennessee. He is on the board of many banks, not-for-profit organizations, corporations, the symphony, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Tennessee. He's friends with the governor of the state of Tennessee. He's the vice chair of the university system of the University of Tennessee. Raja has done me a great favor of coming to Atlanta to speak to all of us and to tell us how can someone who was only 25 years ago at the level of my daughter Zina and many of you young people, just an average person, to become an extremely successful. Raja, would you share with us your life story? Please welcome Raja.
You know, Omar said it right. When I was in college, I struggled with grades, with everything. I wish I was able to come earlier and attend some of the sessions just to hear what you all are talking about. But once I came, I started talking to Omar and some of the people, and I'd rather just change something about what I'm going to present. Instead of talking about me, which really you can read all about me, and today is not about me, it's about you. So I want to give you some real life lessons that I've learned as I've walked through life. To begin with, we're all wanting to be entrepreneurs and businessmen, but we want to be successful. And I know that money is not the most important thing, but money is important ultimately. So what are the avenues for people to create wealth and future success? There are 5 only. You can be lucky at birth, have the genes that can make you a great musician or a great artist or a great actor and become a star. That's a possibility. You can win the lottery odds are very low, 1 in 290 million. You can invent a product like Apple, Google, Facebook, or Microsoft. The odds are a little bit better than the lottery. You can marry a rich spouse, right? But until one of those occurs, all you have, like the rest of us, mortal people, is one left. That one left is manage people. That's the key to it, is how you're going to manage people. So to manage people, you have to learn how to sell, how to be fiscally responsible, how to determine your growth strategy, how to manage growth, how to recruit and retain, how to manage people and relationships, how to delegate and empower, how to measure results, how to hold yourself accountable and hold others accountable, how to reward appropriately, and how to challenge yourself and those around you. I'm going to skip a couple of things because we're starting late, and I don't want to take more time than is allocated. But I really would appreciate it if you can stop me anytime and ask questions, because that's important today. But as you leave today, we want you to know this, or at least I want you to know this, and I'm sure that the board of directors would want you to know this, that we have some expectations from you, especially the young people. We expect you, number one, to be a leader. There are many definitions of a leader, but I want to focus on two. Number one is know who you are and what you stand for. Sam Levinson, an American humorist, once said, "You do not have to be in the who's who to know what's what." It's very true. And I would like to add that you must know yourself and never think less of yourself, but always think of yourself less. You have to understand your strengths. You have to understand your weaknesses. You have to know yourself real well. Please do not accept your mom's admiration as conclusive evidence that you are awesome. My mother certainly thought I was her favorite. My brother is sitting here. Just take that as a sign of her never-ending love. You also have to stand for what you believe in, and believe it with every fiber in your body. The second trait I want to point out to you, knowing how to set big goals. Having the right mental attitude and exerting the extra effort required to achieve your goals. Your ability to set goals requires context. You will always face opportunities that far outnumber the resources and the time that you have. Thus, you have to think realistically in setting your big goals. Setting big goals from the start will always allow you to adjust. But if you think of small goals, you may not be able to expand, and you may have limited room to adjust. Furthermore, and it's critical, your mental attitude determines how you look at what you see and how you react to any event in life. Thus, it is critical for any leader to have the right mental attitude. Nothing can stop you if you have the right mental attitude. And nothing can help you if you have the wrong attitude. You also have to be willing to give the extra effort it takes to get things done and to achieve your goals. Let me give you an example to explain the difference between ordinary effort and extraordinary effort. Huge difference. At 211 degrees, water is very hot. At 212 degrees, water will boil and can generate enough force to power an engine. Imagine, 1 degree, extra effort. That is the attitude we want you to have. That is the extra effort we want you to exert. That's what it takes. Like I said, the expectations are to be a leader. The second one, be willing to pay the price for success. No matter what you want in life, you are going to have to give up something in order to get it. Most people are willing to pay $150,000 for a house, $150,000 for a house, or $25,000 for a car, but very few people are willing to pay the price for success. No matter how much they want the success, they fail to actually pay the price for success. To have a good marriage or to succeed in business, you have to sacrifice. To learn, you pay a price. To win, you pay a price. To get stronger or faster, you pay a price. To change, improve, and advance, you pay a price. You will pay a price for doing nothing, I promise. It is a choice you have to make. You either voluntarily and eagerly pay the price for success, or you will be made to pay the price of failure. Life is unfair. Get used to it. That's a true statement. The good news today is that all of you have sacrificed and responded to the call of responsibility for your own learning. Mentorship is all about learning, because even the mentor is learning at the same time. The more you teach, the more you learn. You have already faced challenges that could have blocked your progress, yet you persevered and achieved. Number 3, we expect you to make the right choices today and in the future, because the first always leads to the second. You are the one responsible for choosing your successes and your failures. In fact, you make those choices long before you experience the results of success or failure. Life, as you may already know, is a sequence of choices. A lot of people talk about work-life balance. It's a misnomer. It's work-life choice. There is no such thing as balance. Because if you're starting a business and you have a young family, or you're still a bachelor, your work-life choice is to spend most of your time at work. But then when you have a family and a wife and kids, that choice has to be shifted. But it doesn't have to be 50-50. The decisions you make today will create events in your future life. If you eat 2 slices of pie every night or sit on the couch for hours at a time watching TV, you know what the outcome will be. If you smoke cigars, you know what the outcome will be. We are fortunate to live in a country that allows the choices to be freely made by individuals. That is the blessing of America. A land so ripe with opportunity that success is attainable through personal choices. But success is reserved only for those who are willing to pay the price. You know, a lot of people talk about how successful doctors become successful. They paid a huge price. They were in school for how many years? 12 years? Well, Some people it takes 12 years, but Omar, Dr. Lattouf took 20 years. Of course, but look at the success he has. Look at how, I haven't seen him in 29 years. When I saw him last, about 3 months ago, it was like as if we've seen each other for the evening before. But I had kept up with his news. But to me, Omar was Omar. But the people that were talking to me about him were referring to him as Dr. Lattouf. To me, he was still Omar. So he's a great guy. Number 4, take care of your family, just as they have taken care of you. Many things in life come and go, not family. They are always there, and there is nothing more important. Take care of your community and give back. You didn't get here without the help of others. Now others have to count on you. I'd like to talk a little bit about business. Jack Welch said that business is the ultimate team sport. In sports, players are in it to win, and so are the people in business. So I wanted to study that a little bit more. It's true, they are both intense and full of fun. They are both hard and fast. They are both nonstop grabble and filled with strategy, teamwork, nuances, and surprises. Both are always faced with choices. And the team that makes the most positive choices wins. That's what I'm talking about, choices with you. You want to make the maximum number of positive choices. Therefore, the first element of a successful business is to make sure you make the right choices. Examples of choices that you will face and you will need to make. How much time during the day will you commit to creating and working your business? How are you going to choose your mentor? No one makes it really in life without guidance and mentorship. No matter who they tell you. Some people will claim that we are self-made. That means they are selfish and self-centered, because no one makes it on their own. Who will you depend on to guide you through the formative years of your business? What available resources will you use? How much time are you going to dedicate to continuous learning? You will also face many other choices. The key to making decisions on what choices to make is to try to find out all the facts first. You want the truth, you want the facts. Remember that business is all about making decisions. Some decisions that you make will be mistakes. Absolutely. Here's my advice on that. After each mistake, make sure you own up to it. Fix it, document it, and teach it to someone else. After that, I recommend please make sure to make new ones. Just don't make the same mistake again. But I encourage you to continue to making mistakes. Now, there are some minor differences between sports and business. Mainly, although both have rules, business, other than legal requirements, the rules are loose and mostly self-imposed. Although both have umpires to call the fouls, business, other than judges, no one might be watching. Therefore, the second element of successful business is to create the rules you will abide by, meaning the cultural values of the company you're creating. Cultural values are a collection of organizational values and behaviors. Largely will stay unspoken and probably undocumented, but they are the key to the success of the teamwork working together. Examples of what I'm talking about: honesty and integrity in everything that you do, especially when no one is watching. Will you stand for what you believe in is right and always do the right thing? Fairness in dealing with clients and employees, creating quality relationships based on high moral and ethical behaviors. Those are the values that I'm talking about. Now, where do these values come from? They come from upbringing. Your family has a lot to do with those values, your mom and dad, your community that you live in, and the culture that you live in or you were born in. I was lucky to have the mix of both cultures, Palestinian, Lebanese, and American, all three cultures. And I took, or I tried to take, the best of values of all three cultures, because every one of those cultures has its good values and bad values. So you have to learn how to pick the right ones that you want to conduct your business with. It is important to note that cultural values will create your personal and your company's reputation. The third element of successful business is to figure out the company's vision and mission. But I'm sure you've talked about those, so I'm going to skip that and jump right into key elements in creating individual companies. You have to, I know you've talked about vision, mission, and we talked just now about values, but you have to find a way to align the vision, the mission, the culture, and the consequences if someone does not abide by those cultural values or by those, or does not advance the mission. Enhance job security for your people through growth. Have a clear purpose for each key team member. I know a lot of people that started companies and they wanted to hire other people, but they did not have the essentials worked out yet. You have to have the essentials worked out. And you have to, when you bring someone new in, what is their role and what is your role in actual activity? Keep your compensation and performance pay fresh, updated, and do not forget to be tough on consequences. I know a lot of you or a lot of people will bring in friends to work. It works and it will work if you keep business as business and you have consequences and rewards. Commit to the circle of success. What's the circle of success? The team takes care of your client takes care of the company takes care of the team. That's how it works. Hang on to the best people and be very generous with them. Like I said, money is important. Focus on the business drivers and simplify reporting on measurable results. Simplify financials, focus on variances, and insist on actionable data. Give back to the community you live in and benefit from. This is part of the larger team you live in. And lastly, never give up. It takes a long time to start a business. It takes a lot of effort. But if you give up after the first failure, you'll never succeed. So you have to go through these failures, through these mistakes, and never give up and be convinced and believe in what you're going to do. I'm going to turn it over to you to ask questions, but I just want to remind you, it's your life, and you are responsible for the results. It's time to turn up the heat and operate at 220 degrees, at 12 degrees, creating the force needed to start your engines. Get prepared to sacrifice and pay the price in order to face life's adventures with all the resources you have. I really thank you for listening. I thank Dr. Latouf for inviting me, and Mo. Thank you very much for inviting me. I wish you all great success. Now, if I tried to make up some time for you.
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
So I will be more than happy, because it's about you, I will be more than happy to answer any questions as long as you permit.
I was going to say, we probably have time for 1 or 2 questions, and I think, guys, this is definitely your opportunity. And I'm going to hopefully, I don't know, Kevin, if you're back there, this mic is on.
I really don't need a mic.
Sure you do. Here you go.
Hello, my name is Devontae. My question to you is, if you had a book to advise for us as young kids to read that could help in our success, what would you say it would be?
What's your, what are you doing now?
I do data analytics at a company called HT Supply, but I'm looking to continue in my entrepreneurial ventures.
And your education was up to?
I graduated from Georgia State University with a finance degree.
Okay.
Thank
You need to come to UT and graduate from there.
Maybe one day, maybe
that's
one
one
day.
advice. No, a good book if you want to start a business. Jack Welch has written a lot of good books, but his latest one, it is called Real Life MBA. Why it's better than any of his other books? Because his wife, who is a writer, wrote it with him. And it's such a good, concise book on many topics. And it applies really to many industries. So that's the book that I would recommend to you.
Really good. So this hand go up. If you would stand for me. Thank you.
Mr. Jubran, thank you for your speech. I wanted to, you stressed on sacrifices quite a bit. I just wanted to see if you're able to internalize a little bit and talk about what you meant by that from your perspective.
Sure. I started a construction company in Knoxville, Tennessee. When I asked for guidance and mentorship and talked to the family, they thought I was crazy for a couple of reasons. One, Knoxville is a smaller community. I mean, it's the largest, smallest city in the United States. But it had already a lot of well-connected contractors, general contractors. Then the question was, well, your name is really Raja Jubran, not a common East Tennessee name. I object to that vehemently, but at any rate, I knew that there was an uphill battle. But here are the sacrifices. Number one, my wife had to work to feed us. I lived in my mother's house with my wife, and up to the second child. So that's a sacrifice that she did. Third, I eliminated anything called hobbies personal. Time with my friends. I ignored anything called golf or chess or bridge because I wanted to focus. My choice was to work harder than my competition. I didn't know how smart they are, but I knew that I wanted to work harder than them. Working harder means you have to put in the hours. And it's not a clock in, clock out. Now, that carried through all through my life. And I made other choices. Now, what's the price that I paid? I didn't attend any of my kids' basketball or football things. Now, do I regret that? Absolutely, I regret it. But are they better off now? You know, thank God I've been blessed with two great kids that are mature. One is married and one is getting married, and they're working in the businesses, in the family business, and doing a great job. So I did sacrifice. All through after the successful years at the first company, I started getting really involved in the community. And I saw the need in the community. And if I want to consider myself a member of that community, I wanted to pay the rent. Paying the rent means you have to give to your local people time and money. It's not only money, it's time and money. Leadership, when you're successful in your own business, you have to take that success and try to help a nonprofit become successful. Not only give them money. Money is important, like I said. But the time to organize them, to help them, to mentor them, that's extremely important. Is that, those are the choices that you make in life.
Yeah, that was great. I think we probably are out of time for questions, but that last question I think was just fantastic because you just hit on, I think, something that we're all going through professionally and personally, and so thank you for that, and thank you for your speech. I think, Dr. Latouf, you want to say one more thing? Yep.
Before you leave, Roger. 3 months ago, I went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and after catching up with Raja after 29 years of not seeing him, I told Raja about what I have been doing and about You Beyond and Mentorship Atlanta. He said, I like what you're doing, and I told him about Mo Mustafa. He said, I really like what you're doing. I want to meet Mo. I said, Raja, this is a great thing that we're doing. We want to take this nationally. He said, I want to help you take it nationally. He said, I told him that Mo and I would like to have you help us. He said, I think this is a project that deserves not a $60,000 budget. This needs a $5 million budget. I'll help you raise a $5 million budget and make it a national organization.